What's up, YouTube gamers? Young Soul dropping another video, and today I gotta show you the one place where Microsoft made less, yes, less money than Sony did in 2016. And guess what? That's where it counts. Gaming. Now, what you're seeing is a chart, and I'll put the link in the description. You know I'm gonna do it. Put the link in the description, but this is for 2017. I'm sorry, 2016. I apologize. And it shows the top 25 company game revenues. Now, it's important to point out, and I'll put a link so you'll be able to see. It's important to point out that specifically with Xbox and PlayStation, it represents all Xbox and PlayStation non-hardware platform revenues. So in other words, no hardware, just software. And I bring that up because we know 2016 PS4 dropped the Slim, the Pro, and the PSVR. None of those count. They are only talking software revenue. Well, let me take that back. They're not including hardware revenue. I'm not sure if there's anything other than software, but I want to make sure I get that right. So it's not counting hardware, just software. And if you're looking at the link, it's actually the last sentence of the first paragraph is where I'm getting at. It represents all Xbox and PlayStation non-hardware platform revenues, and that's including, by the way, Xbox Live. It includes Xbox Live and PSN revenues respectively. Okay, so that's how it is. And if you look at the chart, it actually shows all 4 quarters of 2016, and then it shows the full year. And if you look at those yearly numbers, those are in US dollars. So everything it says in there, everything is converted to US dollars. And as you can see, like the first one it says is Tencent, which is actually like a mobile game provider. They made, you see 10,201, but it's actually in millions. So every number you see down this whole list, as far as under the full year or even in the quarters, what you actually do is you have to add 6 zeros to the end. So instead of $10,201, it's actually $10,201,000,000, because it's being done in the millions. So that's why you have to add that. And then the change is year-on-year change. So that's the percentage. The last row you see percentages. That's year-on-year change. So 2015 compared to 2016, or I should say 2016 compared to 2015. Anyway, as you can see, Tencent, like I said, is the mobile game. So that's what they made a lot. But number 2 is Sony, and if you look, they made $7,837,000,000 in 2016 off game revenue. And if you look down at number 4, you see Microsoft made $6,477,000,000 of gaming revenue. Just again, not hardware, just software. And that's about someone can correct me if I'm wrong, it's about $1.3 billion in difference. Now, the reason why I point this out is because A, nobody else is really talking about this. So I wanted to make sure you guys were informed. And B, it really pushes back against what the Xbox fanboys say as far as PlayStation gamers don't buy games. You know how they always try to make that argument, and they try to make it with anecdotal evidence. Well, everybody I know buys their games on Xbox. The people I know who own PlayStations, they go Redbox, or they do this, or they, whatever. And more specifically, since it does count, if you again look in the little couple paragraphs ahead in front of the chart that you're seeing, when you click on the link, it includes Xbox Live and PSN. And so the other argument that Xbox fanboys make is, well, nobody buys digital on PlayStation, they buy digital on Xbox. Of course, this is the excuse used, for instance, when Neo, on last month's MPD for February, Neo sold better than Halo Wars 2. Their argument is, well, people were buying Halo Wars 2, digitally, and nobody buys PlayStation games digitally. Again, this includes PSN and Xbox Live. My point is, they can't argue that PlayStation gamers don't buy games, because here's hard evidence, $1.3 billion in difference evidence, if you will. And you see what I'm saying? I just like, what I like doing is pushing back on these guys who have at best anecdotal evidence, at At worst, they're pulling stuff out their ass, like just making claims that they can't prove. Here is proof through actual statistics that PlayStation gamers not only buy games, not only buy digital games, but buy them more than Xbox gamers. Again, $1.3 billion worth of difference. So I wanted to go ahead and put that out there. You see down at 10, it's Nintendo, but that's actually not that big a deal, because if you remember, there wasn't much software coming out for Nintendo in 2016. I think Splatoon was it as far as major releases. I don't know about anything else, so I mean that's kind of understandable. But it's interesting that, you know, where it counts. Because remember, these companies make their money off the games. They don't make their money as much off the hardware anyway. It's the games, it's the software where they make the majority of their money. And it's funny how Xbox Family, and this is the other thing, this is actually the bigger thing. I can't believe I didn't say this one first. But Xbox Fanboys, Microsoft has so much more money that they'll invest into gaming, but Sony makes more money in gaming than Microsoft does. Okay? That's where it counts, at least in our community, the gaming community. Now, if you want to go to the Wall Street community, then fine. Make your argument about Microsoft's stock ticker and their portfolio and their market capitalization numbers and their this and their that. Fine. If you want to go have Wall Street arguments, but if you want to have gaming arguments, stop talking about what Microsoft does as a whole and start focusing on what Xbox, what their gaming divisions do, and you'll see that PlayStation is destroying them in where it counts most, gaming revenue. Sony sees that. That's why they're putting so much more into it. Microsoft, not as much. Now, I'm not saying they're not making money. I mean, hey, $6.4 billion ain't nothing to sneeze at, but it's not $7.8 billion. That's all I'm saying. Let me know what you think in the comment section, and I'll holler back.